Alright, so a while back I made mention that normal types are actually one of the best types to have in the rarely used tier. And in this video, I'm just going to briefly explain why that is. We all know normal types to be the most bland and boring type out there. No real weaknesses, just to fighting types, no super effective attacks. So they're offensively mediocre and defensively mediocre, but I must admit that in the rarely used tier, the talents that the normal types are offering are off the charts compared to all the other tiers. In Generation 9, they set out to have most of the normal types have unique properties. You know, if they're going to be bland and boring, they added a bit of spiciness to them. Your normal types are not just your generic attacker or generic wall, but have something unique to offer the team. And at the end of the video, I'm going to discuss a overarching premise as to why all these normal types are relatively outdoing themselves despite their normal typing. Before we hop into the first few Pokemon, it must be noted that in the rarely used tier, there are not that many ghosts to be afraid of, but it's always handy when you can just simply switch into Gengar's Shadow Ball. Gengar Pokemon more often seem to be choice locked, means that going into your normal type hard on a Shadow Ball is safe haven. First and foremost, tried and true, Chansey and Blissey. These two have been ruining the lives of every special attacker under the sun, and in the rain, and in the snow, and when the skies are clear. Max defense, Chansey and Blissey with a huge HP stat allows them to take on an array of physical attackers in the tier as well. If your attack is not super effective, Blissey and mostly Chansey will definitely be taking your attack. In the rarely used tier currently, I prefer Blissey because people are a fan of stacking hazards like mad, and Chansey is vulnerable to them because it's required to run the Eviolite boost, whereas Blissey can run the heavy duty boots. But if your team has sufficient hazard removal, you can opt for using Chansey over Blissey just for the overall tankiness. Another advantage that Blissey has over Chansey, besides rocking the heavy duty boots ignoring the hazards, is that Blissey actually has a serviceable special attack stat, whereas Chansey has a non-existent special attack stat. So Blissey can be the bane of every special attack if it desires, with Calm Mind and some attacking options, and maybe even go on a strange sweep of sorts. If you're not rocking the auxiliary, Thunderbolt, Thunder Wave, Stealth Rock, you can swap them out for coverage moves like Flamethrower or Shadow Ball. Blissey and Chansey are there to take on most of the tiers, if not all of their special attackers. Armor Rouge is a dangerous one that lots of newcomers to the rarely used tier tend to slap on with no second thoughts, assuming that they're going to be getting weak armor and weakness policy boosts and just stored powering their ways to victory, or firing off some strange heavy specs, armor cannons and whatnot. Yes, you have to be careful of Psyshock, but as discussed, Blissey and Chansey's HP is so high that it doesn't really matter. The main point of contention and reason Chansey and Blissey are so good is Gengar, other Pokemon like Magnezone can be eaten alive. Another dangerous special attack in the tier is Volcanion, with its high-powered steam eruptions that cause a chance to burn, making physical attackers not want to switch in, making anyone not want to switch in, period. These two have become so meta-defining and annoying that special attackers are looking for options to defeat Chansey and Blissey. Like, for example, Volcanion has started rocking Body Press just to have a means to do some type of significant damage onto the Chansey and Blissey. Azelf can be a physical attacker from time to time. Goodra has seen more running Heavy Slam and Knockoff to offer some support to the team, and Heavy Slam to do consistent heavy damage, as Flash Cannon is not really a strong stab option. I've seen Noivern rocking Super Fang more often than not, just to make sure that whenever Chansey or Blissey come in, they're there for a comfortable stay. But if you're going to use Super Fang and Taunt and other auxiliary moves on your other Pokemon, that sacrifices the EVs and IVs here and there. For example, Volcanion can't fully max out its special attacking stats. A non-invested defensive Body Press not going to come close to 2-KOing Blissey or Chansey, especially Chansey. It's a sacrifice you might have to make, but I believe the sacrifice is worth it, just to deal with these heavy special attacking normal types. The next normal type on the agenda is also really helped out by its ability, Regenerator, and its Dragon typing. From here on out, folks, all the normal types have an advantage over the ghosts they're meant to get rid of, in that they are all quicker than the ghost types. Cyclozar with its regenerator ability and deceptively bulky nature due to its dragon typing and fully invested defense. Sometimes you can invest fully max defense, max special defense. You could run heavy duty boots, assault vest. What's not to love? Cyclozar has unique options such as U-turn for momentum, knock off to disrupt the team, Draco Meteor or Dragon Tail for stab, but Draco Meteor is always solid damage. Dragon Tail just to make sure that no setup sweepers are gonna have a fun time versus you. It has Taunt to disrupt setup sweepers as well, so lots of Pokemon take a long time to get their boosts going, like Suicune, Reuniclus. Not gonna be happening in this town. But the main draw is that it possesses a Rapid Spin, an easy Rapid Spin. It is a Rapid Spinner that Ghost Pokemon can't really touch in the real use tier. That's why it is doing so well. And even if the Ghost Pokemon does manage to get us to lay a finger on Cyclozar, the fact that it has Regenerator and can simply U-turn out into another Ghost Beater is what makes it such a strong Pokemon in the real use tier. And of course, as always, the insane speed stat. It's faster than every type of Ghost in here. And it's faster than most Pokemon in the tier. With that being said, it just means you can sacrifice a heck of a lot of speed to invest into the necessary bulk that you desire. I think Cyclozar is also the first normal type to have the Regenerator ability, which adds to its uniqueness. Everybody's most annoying and favorite tool, Household. Also a normal type, one of the most deadly normal types out there. But trolling speed, making it just one base point faster than Gengar, so if you ever get a free switch in versus a Gengar, especially if that Gengar is locked into any type of attack, it's doomed. Because your Household can pretty much own it, you know, threatening to outspeed it, and the tools that Household has been gifted is not that unique in Pokemon, but for Pokemon of Household's caliber, it indeed is. As discussed, the unique speed, it possesses moves like Encore to disrupt the opponent's Pokemon who are trying to set up. So Suicune trying to accrue 10,000 Carmines and Blissey soft boiling up. We can waste your PP. Bishop trying to get frisky and sucker punch you. You get the play right and you Encore them, they are locked in, allowing you as your Household to go into your next move. Tidy Up. This is one of the easiest ways and risk-free ways to get rid of hazards. It also clears substitutes, which are not really that in effect, because not many Pokemon are really putting a sub up in the sound, but just something to note. And getting a free quote-unquote Dragon Dance on top of that, just a blessing on top of another blessing. But the real draw as to why Household is such a threat in any tier that it ends up finding itself in is because of this move called Population Bomb. Household possesses a Technician ability which increases the power of low base power moves under 60 base power by 50%, and Population Bomb indeed is such an attack. Not only does Technician increase the first hit, it increases the damage across all hits. Top that up with Stab. That means that Population Bomb is, if luck is on your side, a 450 base power attack. I don't care if that's coming off a 1 base stat attack stat. It's going to do damage, always. I've seen Household disrupt many defensive cores with its by just grabbing one tidy up or encoring at the appropriate time and then grabbing the tidy up. And then sweeping the opponent's entire team with Population Bomb. As discussed, the speed that it possesses is enough to outspeed most relevant choice scarfers after a single tidy up. The only downside is that Population Bomb is a contact move, and should the opponent possess at least one Rocky Helmet and you thud into that item, your Household's dead. No doubt about it. But all these factors are still what makes Household a scary thing. Those types can't even really answer because it possesses a Technician boosted Bite, which more often than not you'll find it flinches, and Bite has such a lot of PP. So good luck trying to drain all the Bite PP. And the Population Bomb PP for that matter. But again, another unique talent offered to a normal type. Why Household is found more so here is in underused you have Pokemon like Tornadus Therian that are faster. You got a lot more priority, like Conkeldur's Mach Punch. You got a lot more steel types that tend to dish out punishment for contact. And the Pokemon are just bulkier in general. Underused and overused is a land where Pokemon do not need so much time to get set up. Overused, you know, you're featuring a lot of boost energies. Boost energy, Great Tusk gets thrown in there. Attack booster. I want to throw Household in there to encore the guy. For what purpose? He's just going to attack you straight up. Underused, same vibes. It doesn't take much to get the Pokemon going. One Nasty Plot from Tornadus, one Swords Dance from Low Kicks, one Swords Dance from Cobalion or Iron Defense. It's enough to sweep the entire team. Here in the rarely used tier, Armarouge tends to need more than one Calm Mind and a weak armor boost here and there. Mimikyu needs like 3 Swords Dances to sweep through an entire team. Of course, Suicune and Reuniclus are prime suspects. They need multiple Calm Minds to get going. You can't just afford to click one and then hope for the best. That grants ample opportunities for Maushold to encore. The Maushold, with the most powerful attack in the game, it's found its niche in the rarely used tier, and a good one at that. And I know there's not a rarely used Pokemon, but I'll briefly discuss the next Pokemon. Chinchino offers similar talents to Maushold with Technician and Loaded Dice, but rather than having an ultra powerful attack like Population Bomb, it tends to make use of coverage moves. There's Bullet Seed, Rock Blast, Triple Axle, and other auxiliary moves as well, and also possessing the same Tidy Up that the Maushold provides. One thing I must note about Chinchino is that its attack stat is way higher than Mausold's. Bullet Seed and Rock Blast do not make contact, so if anybody's possessing a Rocky Helmet, most of which tend to be ground types, and types that do not resist grass and rock as a combination, you're not going to make contact with them and have your HP dissolved. Speed stat of Chinchino is also excellent, so much so that you can run Adamant Nature. Reason being is that Zapdos Galarian is most common Choice Scarfer and the best Choice Scarfer in the tier, and after a single Tidy Up, you're faster than it. Adamant Chinchino is one point faster than Jolly Zapdos. If you get the plays right, Chinchino offers a wider grip on the entire metagame, but it's no Population Bomb where you are clicking a delete button. It's cold hard calculation to make sure that you can get Chinchino to work. Before we hop into the end of the video, I just want to mention one overarching premise that makes these normal types powerful and something to look out for in the rarely used tier, and in any tier in Generation 9, is Terrasilize. Oh my goodness, people know that I'm not a fan of Terrasilize, but it must be stated, friends, because it's really the truth. A normal type that has only one weakness and shed its one weakness to trade it in for resists and other types of advantages. What's not to love about that? The way you beat normal types if you're not going to be hitting them super effectively is you hit them hard with a neutral attack because they have no natural resists. When you grant the normal type Pokemon the ability to shift the dynamic and actually possess some resistances here and there, it makes them a lot more difficult to take down. For example, you might have to go out of your way to have a game plan to beat Chansey and Blissey, as your team might struggle versus it, only for them to Terrasilize it at an opportune time when your team has been rocked a little bit. And folks, we're going to leave it at that. Let me know what normal types you favor in Generation 9 as a whole, but mainly in the rarely used tier if you do play rarely used. I'd love to know your thoughts in the comments down below. And if you did enjoy this video, make sure to leave a like and subscribe if you have not done so already, as we shall be doing a lot more of these. Road to rank 1 we shall continue. It's just been very difficult to get a game on hand because I have to wait hours on end for somebody to hop onto the ladder, so it seems I have to hit that sweet spot where everybody's playing Pokemon for the day. And that's relatively a late time for me, but there's no excuse. I shall finish this journey off. But until next time, folks, as always, we shall be U-turning out. Thanks for watching.